Hey, welcome back to Happy Hour. I'm your host, DJ Kyle. And if you've ever been at Lake of the Ozarks, especially down at the Strip, Bagnell Dam Boulevard, you will see currently there is a nice long fence close to Alley Cats, about halfway down, and it has a beautiful mural on it. If you've seen that, you've seen the art of this guy right here, 6'1". This is Garrett SixOne Jackson. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome him to the show. Garrett, nice to have you on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
So your art is all over Lake of the Ozarks, and you've been doing these murals. Again, I've seen it down at the Bagnell Dam Strip, and you're at the bowling alley. You've done some work there. Tell us some of the other places that you've done some work at.
Man, I've been very blessed to have a lot of patrons here at the lake, and I've worked a lot at Osage Beach, down for a couple businesses in Camdenton. And a few of those like Fuels Automotive, Sip Coffee House, A to Z Restoration, Kalo. We got Bullmore Lanes. We got a few others. I mean, and I know the list goes on, and I'm looking forward to continuing bringing more art installations to the lake area. So
how did you get your start in these? Because painting a mural is quite a bit different than painting a picture of like a landscape or something.
Absolutely.
With some paintbrushes. So how did you get into it?
Well, I was an art teacher for a number of years, and would always kind of paint and always looked at painting, the smaller things. And but I always had a passion for always trying to go bigger and bolder. Being a bigger guy, I always kind of felt like, man, I need to paint so I can actually kind of stretch my arms out a little bit or something. And
all these small things, we gotta keep.
and I really had a deep passion for graffiti and spray paint, and working with cans and working with that medium. You really kind of have to work in bigger, bolder, obviously outdoor areas are best for that too. So that kind of transitioned into kind of helping me with the larger pieces, and really honestly now with everything that I do, the spray paint is what I really kind of work with mainly. The brushes and stuff like that are great for the smaller stuff, but when you get out and you're working on these larger walls, I mean the aerosol spray paint, those sprayers, those all work really well. So you've got to go big or go home with those. So
and your art is such a unique art. Like there's so much going on. Like for example, right behind us here,
yes.
This piece here, there is so much going on that I could just stand there and dissect it all and try to make heads or tails. Where do you get your passion for different art pieces?
Really, honestly, you kind of hit on some of the things that I really kind of come into my design process is I want people to stand in front of my pieces and enjoy them for a long period of time. And another thing that I really enjoy is when people come back to the same piece and they find something different inside of it every time. And I think that's really, honestly, what inspires me is to kind of keep your eye moving, keep you interested, keep you kind of draw back in with the colors and the textures and all that. And really, honestly, I think a lot of that comes from just like I said, the urban art. Whenever you're out in these bigger cities and stuff, and you see all the tags and all the throw ups and all these burners that these guys are out in the streets putting up, they're putting up big bold colors and they're taking prime real estate spots with their stuff. And it's like, man, to stand out, you really got to have those bold colors. You got to have that movement. You got to have that texture. And so whenever I'm working, and I get inspired by those things because it just kind of keeps your eye moving, keeps people interested.
Mm-hmm. Now, I've seen some of your art in a barber shop, an entire wall, a Kansas City Chiefs wall. How long does it take you to paint a mural that size?
So that's Breyer's Barbershop in Camdenton, and honestly, I was in his barbershop for 3 days. He was closed down for the weekend, and so we took care of the Kansas City Chiefs wall. Well, I took care of that in a day. And then on the other side, we put some Marvel characters and did some other stuff, and then took the last day to kind of clean up and make sure everything was perfect so he could open up shop. And so yeah, pretty quick, honestly.
You're just in and
so I've had a lot of time with the cans and the brushes, and so whenever I've got a good plan and a good direction, I kind of come in like a contractor. I'm in there real quick, get it done, and get out of there. So, and I think a lot of people appreciate that, especially for a lot of my businesses that I work for. I just recently finished for Bandana's Barbecue here in Osage Beach, and they were very, very open for me to come in after hours so that way I could work and not interrupt the flow of the customers. And of course with the spray paint and things like that, I don't want to take away from anybody's dining experience. Yeah, exactly. However, people do enjoy watching. So whenever I'm outdoors and things like that, I get people come up and talk to me and things like that. And so anyway, those are, kind of the things that
I love it. That's awesome. So how does someone go about just getting you to come and spray paint their wall? They just tell you, hey, we have this idea and we want you to just make it come alive?
I mean, usually they'll reach out to me on Facebook or my Instagram, or they'll call me on my cell phone and just say, hey, we're thinking about a project. You know, we've got a space. We've got something that we've been looking at. We want something done. And what I do is I get in the truck and I drive to them. I like to come up and actually meet my customers and actually look at these spaces in real time and look at what I can do, because really honestly with a picture, you can't really tell a whole lot. So whenever I actually get to that location and get to see that and see the texture of the wall or whatever I'm working with, you know, it gives me a little bit of a better idea of what my limitations are as an artist and what I really can do to maximize that space. So really honestly, they reach out to me, I show up, we talk about it, we kind of hash out the figures and everything else, and then from there it's just really figuring out a time in the schedule, and then we just get it going. So
man, I'm just absolutely impressed with all of your mural work. But not only do you do murals, but you also do, if someone just wanted a piece of art hanging in their living room, maybe not their whole living room wall, but you're able to do that as well. And you also have some prints of your work as well, so people could take home stuff that is hanging up elsewhere.
We can, well, I could put artwork on just about anything, including yourself. So, I mean, we can, I can definitely tailor it to whatever the application needs to be, but I actually kind of got started in the galleries, painting just my studio work, and then entering into competitions and entering into shows. And then from there started to kind of gain more recognition and doing more commissions. And actually, you know, in the past few years, I've been recognized by a few of the organizations throughout Missouri and recognized as one of the best acrylic painters in the state of Missouri. So I've been working really hard to get that and achieve that, and I really want to keep that going. So I'm always looking for opportunities to create and put my artwork out there in the public eye for people to see, whether it be on a canvas, on a wall, on a car, motorcycle, boat, a human, whatever it is. I'm going to put it there and do my best job to you know, put out just awesome pieces.
All right, so if someone wants to come to this location and find out a little bit more about you and find out a little bit more about your work and possibly even getting some touch-ups on some tattoo or some new work from you, where's the location and how do they get here?
So we are at Lake Ozark Tattoo Co. at 4181 Osage Beach Parkway in Osage Beach, Missouri. You guys can call our shop number, or you can get a hold of us on our Facebook page, reach out to us on Instagram. Any of those ways you can get a hold of us. We'd be happy to take care of anything that you guys have for us. We've got a number of talented artists here, and we definitely put our best foot forward on everything we do. We want to be known and recognized for everything we do. So we would love to have anybody come in and talk to us about any project whatsoever. Boats, cars, tattoos, canvases, you name it, we'll tame it. So
absolutely, that's awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, Garrett SixOne Jackson. So when you're around Lake of the Ozarks, keep your eyes open at some of those art pieces, and when you see that 6-1 tag on there, you know that's from Mr. Jackson here. Thank you again for coming on the show.
Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing more of your work around the Lake of the Ozarks area.
Thank you, guys.
And we have more happy hour coming up right after this.